Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti. I'm joined by Mike Welch of the Daily Racing Forum. We're starting our afternoon with a good main track, good turf course, but one race has been taken off the turf, and that is race number 2. Before we get started, hello, Mike, first of all. How are you? I want to tell you about the Rainbow Six. It starts in race 4 today, $200,000 guaranteed. That's races 4 through 9, and the races in that sequence are still on the turf. As I mentioned, the turf course listed as good. Mike, have you been?
I've been good, a little wet.
Yeah, a little wet. We've been dodging
afternoon rain. Yeah, these afternoon rainstorms. No good for turf racing, no good for golfing, no good at all. Right? Good for the flowers, that's all.
He cares about the golfing most. He was on the golf course the other day. He said, I don't think the heavy stuff's going to come down for a while, right?
And it did.
Well, we're going to take a look at the 9-race card, and what better place to start but in the first race? Our first race, 6 furlong claim.
I think we should go back. Let's go 9-1.
9-1 will probably do better. First race, 6 furlongs, claim is 3 and up, $12,500. Clean, no scratches. Current favorite up there right now is the 3 longer terms, Doug, and I think that's how you started your analysis.
Yeah, I picked this horse, but this race really was a puzzler for me. I went over it for a while. You have 2 speed horses, Noble Prince, who's a question mark, dropping to this level. You have Quiz Whiz. They could knock each other out. I think longer term, Doug's, at least he's consistent. He runs well no matter what barn he's in, it seems. He should get a good stalking trip. He ran great for this price earlier this season when he was second best to like the 1-5 to price one day for 12.5. And just all in all, I just think things will set up for him. If he runs his best race, I think he could be along in time. Rocky Gap turning back to 6 furlongs. He's another horse that's in really good form right now. If the race really ties up, and it's going to have to for his style, he could be along. And then Superiority. First time Peter Walder is a huge angle these days. He won with one yesterday, a similar angle. This horse was no match for, I think, Rocky Gap earlier in their previous meeting, but now he's with Peter. He's freshened him up. This horse's last work was pretty good. So I'm going to give him a shot here on that angle alone.
I know you've been out of town, but I'd put the number 4 Noble Prince on it. He's trained consistently over the track. If you read what's in the bottom of the Daily Racing Forum, first start since using his tactical speed, he finished second. And he ran pretty good in a couple of races. That was against $25,000 types, but it was October, November, so you don't know really what you're getting here.
Yeah, that's the question mark in it. But the fact that he's going to go head-to-head likely with Quiz Whiz, and it looks like they're offering him up maybe for sale here at 12.5. Who knows? Maybe they're just easing him into the spot where they think he looks suspicious enough nobody's going to take him and they can steal one and get him eligible for some starter races. So that's the key here, I thought, Noble Prince. I think I wrote that in my analysis. He's the key to the race.
Well, the second race is the only race today that's been taken off the turf. 1 mile and 1/16 on the on the dirt. It's an allowance optional claim. A Fillies and Mares 3 and up, $25,000. Scratch the 1, the 3, the 5, the 7, the 9, and the 11. And there was a horse entered for the main track only, and that was the 10 Dream Delicious. We're going to go back and show you his last victory. He was on May 11th. It was race 7. And Peter Walder, talking about him, he's done a great job of putting horses on the main track only list. And here you see this horse just cruising away.
Yeah, Peter obviously does his homework. He pays attention to the Weather Channel. He looks ahead, and if there's a chance that a race that one of his horses is eligible for, his dirt horses, will come off the grass, he throws them in there. You got nothing to lose, and sure enough, it worked out perfectly for him today. Dream Delicious just cruises to his last win, and her last win, and looks like a great spot for her here now that the race has come off the grass. Starship Jody can go turf or dirt. She's kind of an erratic horse. She never really runs. You never really know what you're going to get out of it. She has a race where she ran a 91 buyer last fall here to win. She comes off a pretty good race to a horse called Bohemian Dancer, who was making her first start in the U.S. and made a pretty good impression first time out. And this horse ran well behind her. So if Starship Jody brings her A game, she's definitely the one to beat.
Yeah, now, Sharp Words was my long shot when the race was on the turf. I really liked the breeding on this horse, and I hadn't been on the turf before, but it's shown speed on the main track, so I kept it on the ticket today.
Hard to say how the main track will play. It didn't look like it played to speed yesterday, even with the moisture in it. It's going to be drying out track today, or hopefully it will be a drying out track. They won't get any more rain, so keep an eye on it. Couldn't get a line this morning. The track was wet. The dogs are out. There were hardly any work, so I'm going to guess more likely than not it might not favor speed all that much today, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I was tweeting after every race yesterday how the race is run, and all I could keep remembering is the horse kept coming down the center of the track closing, so it didn't look like it was favoring speed throughout the day. We're going to go back to this good main track for the third race. Mile claim is 3 and up, $6,250. We both went with the number 5, Becky's Kitten, on top of the ticket.
Yeah, this horse was a beaten favorite last time. Same horses coming out of the same race. Chillin' Dillon was an easy winner that day, but Becky's Kitten might have come back a little quick, 2 weeks off a winning effort against the same kind. Also was broke down inside, didn't break real sharp, kind of had a rush up to contention. Gets a little better post today, so I think Becky's Kitten, another horse on her best race, is probably good enough to beat these, and I'll take her to bounce back. We'll give her a mulligan for that last one and see if she can do it today. Morality, never thought this horse would be a miler, but she certainly ran well, or he certainly ran well stretching out last time, so if he's loose and track's carrying speed, why not? And, of course, you can't throw Chillin' Dillon out. He beat these pretty easily last time. Yeah,
and that was his second consecutive victory in a row. And Morality, if I don't have this horse on top, that's the time to bet him. When I pick him, he doesn't run well. When I don't pick him, he runs well. So today might be his day. I have him in fourth. I've been trying to catch this course since he ran in that 2-furlong race we had last summer. Fourth race, we're going to stay on the turf. This is where the Rainbow Six starts, and we mentioned has a $200,000 jackpot guarantee.
No, fourth race, dirt.
Oh, fourth race? Excuse me?
Fourth race is dirt.
Fourth race is dirt. I said Rainbow Six. I meant dirt. On the dirt. 6 furlongs, maiden claim. It's fillies and mares, 3 and up. $12,500 on the dirt. Horse jumps off the page, I think, in here, and that's the one, Lucasta.
Yeah, by all rights, she's supposed to win. She comes off the grass, turns back to 6 furlongs. Knocking on the door in this category. Look, the horse to beat on paper is Jill's Reflection. She's 0 for 23. So you got to give the lightly raced Lacosta the big edge in here. Michael Ritvo aboard. If she just gets any kind of a trip, she's supposed to win. Jill's Reflection looks like the one to beat again, but like I said, 0 for 23. She may make it a double dozen today. And Jalise I threw in. Chased Jill's Reflection last time, but she's faster, I think, and eligible to get the lead if she breaks and goes to the lead. Maybe if she does and gets the lead, she'll get brave and hold on for a piece at a big price.
Yeah, they're going to have to beat Lucasta in there. As we said, I threw Bright Promise in the third spot, eligible to show more, coming second off a 3-month layoff. Now we're on the turf in the fifth race. The turf course listed is good. 5 furlong sprint, maiden claim is fillies and mares, 3 and up, $25,000. And I'm going to go back and show you the 2-horse today. Sabrina had a little trouble at the 8th pole last time. And then you'll see it here getting a little bit of trouble, and then closes between horses to run pretty bad. Not really that bad here. You'll see it just gets shut off a little bit
she
there.
Got shut off pretty good. I don't know if she was going to catch that, the 6 horse. But also, look at the 8 coming down the middle of the track, finishing here. That's You and Tequila. And this horse really had a bad trip. She broke terrible. She circled wide into the stretch, and she finished with some interest in here. So I took a shot with You and Tequila in here. This horse has speed. You look at her other 3 races, she's right near the lead. And then last time the poor start made her come from way out of it. The speed of the race scratched Sweet and Miri. So if You and Tequila can break today, she might be able to go right to the front in here. I think this horse will be a good price play. Obviously, Sabrina's the one to beat. I liked her last time. I thought she should have won, but for that trouble and some earlier trouble, where she didn't have the best trip, but like we showed. So I'm going with the price. You and Tequila, Sabrina second. Roxy Lucy will also be forwardly placed today. Might even wind up on the lead. She really didn't have an excuse in that same race last week.
Yeah, the scratches in that 5th race, 4, 7, and number 9. Sprinting 4.5 furlongs. These are maiden filly 2-year-olds, and we have 2 scratches in here of number 11 and number 12. And I went to the inside horse in here, Breezy Song, but like anything else for the first time starters to guess, I see you went with the number 2, who's got some experience.
Yeah, I went for the experience. There's a lot of speed in here. Breezy Song is fast. So it's True has speed. Naval Command has speed. Cosmic Harmony has also worked okay once I saw out of the gate. But I went with the Tierra Dorada horse. This horse ran really well last time. The 2 horses that finished in front of her, both were well meant, both were well bet, and they went 21 and 4. She chased them. The final time was 51 and 2. It was one of the highest graded 2-year-old races we've had at the meet. And this horse ran well, so I'm going to give her the edge with experience. I think the last couple of weeks, the 2-year-old winners have all been horses that have had a race under their belts, have beaten the well-meant first-time starters. So I'm going with Tierra Dorada first. Naval Command is good. I like the 5 furlong work last time. This horse also has some speed, but If she gets hung up chasing, who knows? She does get a little tired in the morning. And so it's true. Worked with another horse of Kathy Risco's, Everlasting Secret. They kind of went head and head. Everlasting Secret has already run once. She finished 4th after chasing a horse that had Stanley Goals that had already run once. It was 3-5.
Yeah, it's a family affair. Got apprentice Michael Ritvo in the saddle today. So 6th race. Lots of pretty interesting 2-year-old races here at Gulfstream Park this time of the year. Our 7th race, 5 furlong maiden claimers, 2-year-olds on the main track, $50,000 down to $40,000. I know we both had the horse that's scratching here on top of our ticket, and that was the number 5, Kutuzov.
Yeah, that's probably why you scratched him. So we both picked.
Exactly. Who'd you go with, Mike?
I went with the other Darchenko horse, Ratnik. This horse is dropping maiden special in the maiden claimant for the first time. This horse beat the gate last time, wound up dueling for the lead, was in between horses. Coming into the stretch, drifted, finished, was on his left lead all the way down the stretch, and I think this horse can do better, especially against this weaker competition. If he breaks like that today and can clear off and get the lead and stays, switches to his right lead properly down the stretch, they may not catch Ratnik, so I went with Ratnik. I like Carlito's Dream a little bit. This horse, she's shown some speed in the morning, was in a gate set on May, I forget which day it was, May 23rd. There was 3 of them in the gate. There was a Ralph Nix horse that ran away from the 2 Peters in here, but this horse was easily second best. Did show some speed on a day when the track wasn't overly fast. So I think Carlito's Dream, if this horse runs away early from the gate, might ultimately be the one to catch if Ratnik doesn't show the same speed.
And Carlito's Dream, I looked it up, a half to Travers winner, Grade 1 Travers winner, Golden Ticket, who I believe finished in a dead heat, if I remember correctly, in the Travers. So that's Carlito's Dream, a half to Golden Ticket.
Dead heat at Alpha, I think, at 35-1.
Yeah.
And also ran really well here in the Don Handicap. He just got beaten at Don, remember, a couple of months ago. Looked like he had the race won, and I think it was at Palace Malice.
Right, yeah, Palace Malice.
Right on the money.
Wow, Palace Malice, that was a nice performance. Our 8th race, 6 furlongs, an allowance optional claim of fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, $25,000. And we got a horse that's coming back that everybody's been talking about, and that's the 3, Little Alexis. We're going to go back to February 9th and show her debut victory.
And this was some race. I mean, this horse, first-time starter, racing greenly. You could see her there lugging in. It's 23-1, lugging in through the stretch. And runs down, I think that's My Miss Sophia.
Right.
My Miss Sophia came out of that race. It became a Grade 1 winner. Was second to One Tappable, who's the top 2-year-old filly in the country in the Kentucky Oaks. So, what can you say about an athlete like that? Right. But she got hurt coming out of the race. She's been off for a while. She's had a few works. Trainer Carlo Vaccarezza said he thinks she's fit enough, but you never know coming off a layoff. She started once. You've got horses in here that have won 4, 5, 6 races. So it's not an easy spot for her. If she runs back to that race, Carlos said to me, forget about it. She'll win if she runs that number.
No, he said, forget about it.
Well, he didn't say it that way. But anyway, she's a huge question mark in here because she's going to be 3 or 4 to 5. And you just have a little hesitation whether she's going to do that against the older horses. But got to put her on top. I mean, she's got a lot of ability, obviously. So I went with Little Alexis. Then you have French Politics in 4 area. 4 area beat French Politics last time, but French Politics have been away a long time. Looked like needed the race. Looked like she'll get a little help today up front with 4 area, who's going to be entertained on the lead probably by St. Aggie and twice by Sunday. So if I had to take one to upset Little Alexis, it'll be French Politics second off the layoff.
Yeah, I just went with 4 area on top of my ticket. Only if I was really betting this race, it would be an exacta box, of course, with Little Alexis, because 4 area Peter Waldebon, the horse hasn't run since February 9th. And going to that race that we mentioned with My Miss Sophia, also in that race was a horse called Creative Spirit, who went to Keeneland and won by open lengths at Keeneland. So not only did we have a Grade 1 stakes place horse come out of there, we had a horse that went to Keeneland and won. So that was a pretty good race right here at Gulfstream Park on
the Little Alexis race you're talking about.
Little Alexis race, the Little Alexis race. We're going to our 9th and final race. I forgot we have 9 today. It's 1 mile and 1/16 on the turf. Claim is 3 and up. Non-wood is a 2, $25,000. And we have scratch of the 9 Ben Jacob, the 11 Dolan's Joy. And I want to go back and show you the 4 valid concepts last race. This horse was getting hounded the whole way. You see, it's a little before this. When you see when she turns home, she went 22 and 52, and she went 46 and 64, and she was still holding on. Early race, she was being hounded the whole way. I mean, she tires to finish second, but I don't think she's going to face that ilk in here, and I put the number 4 Valid Concept on top of my ticket. I couldn't believe she held on to finish second. You see that?
I couldn't believe she went 22 and 2 and 46 and 2. She's never shown that kind of speed, or he has never shown that kind of speed before. So I don't know where that came from. I don't know if that's an indication this horse is just finally cycling around to his best form. It took him a long time to break his maiden, but that race was really good. I agree with you, and I'm just thinking he's better now than he's ever been, and maybe he's just going to take him wire to wire today. Tis Now My Choice came out. Most of these came out of that same race. Tis Now My Choice had to fan really, really wide into the stretch. Finished with a little interest, although it was a fast pace. But gets a 7-pound weight shift from all the horses he ran with that day, with apprentice Michael Ritvo taking the call. And Michael Ritvo, as he's gained experience, has gotten better and better. I think he's going to be a big factor here the remainder of the meet. I like the way Michael's riding, and I think he'll do well on this horse today if he can get any kind of a similar pace and could save a little bit more ground. And Oh the Gift, also a tough trip in his last start, and I look for him to improve today as well.
Yeah, you know, we put stats up that we get from the DRF formulator, and, you know, you don't realize it until you look at it. Michael Ritvo, over the last 5-6 days, has 6 wins from 17 mounts, so he's been riding great and winning a lot of races. I went with the 1 Gridiron Great in second, only for the fact that I just thought this horse could close. If someone goes up and hounds Valid Concept earlier, I thought maybe a Gridiron Great can close many a spur get light. He's got 7-pound apprentice Jose Osorio Jr. in the saddle. I just thought maybe for the trip, the one horse might get up and grab.
Yeah, this is one of those categories. You know, these horses never win 2 lifetimes. They've all been in the category forever, or they took forever to break their maidens. It's so wide open. I mean, you just can't really. They're just so unpredictable is what I'm trying to say. You never know what you're going to get in these kind of races.
Well, we got a good main track. We got a good turf course, race number 2 off the turf. Any final thoughts, Mike, before we head out?
No, like I said, just watch the track. Hopefully the rain will stay away this afternoon and it'll dry out and maybe even be fast by the end. And the turf course will, you know, be okay for the rest of the day. You don't want to get the situation yesterday where, you know, all the multiple wages are in and then we get the deluge and you got to take them off the grass. So hopefully we'll stay on the grass today for the rest of the card after race 2. Just watch the track, especially the main track, and see how it plays when it dries out. My guess would be speed and inside maybe not so good, but we'll have to see as the day goes on.
Well, Ron Nicoletti, Mike Welch, we're going to turn it over to track announcer. What's that guy's name? That's right, Pete. Pete is going to do the changes here. Just teasing Pete a little bit. He'll be giving you all the updated changes you need to have a great day.
Pete's the fisherman. I know he went fishing. Caught a lot of fish the other day.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.